was a wonderful journey which we have seen a miracle indeed from the barren land to this immensely highly developed. I remember the quote of Pramukh Swami Maharaj Ji, which said, "In the joy of others lies our own. In the progress of others rests our own. In the good of others abides our own. Know this to be the key to peace and happiness." To take it further for the next spiritual session, in the joy of others, we have with us Pujya Brahmavihari Swami Ji. I'll request Team Ahmedabad, led by Chairman C.A. Bishan Sir, Treasurer C.A. Samir Chaudhary, Vikasa Chairperson Chetan Jagatia, Managing Committee members C.A. Sunil Sangvi, C.A. Abhinav Malavia, and Vice Chairman Anand Branch C.A. Ketan Bhai, Secretary C.A. Haran Bhai, to please escort Swamiji to the dais for the session. I request all the members to please join me in welcoming Swamiji with a big and thunderous round of applause. Swamiji in his own nagari as such requires no introduction, but I'll request Nilesh Bhai to please give a formal introduction of Swamiji.
Thank you very much. It's a question which today will make everyone happy. How many of you have had the darshan of Pramukh Swami Maharaj? Very good. So you'll be very happy and privileged that a saint who has been with him for the past nearly 5 decades is with us, Pujya Vivek Sagar Swamiji. Swamiji, can I request you to please stand so that people can have a darshan? May we all stand and have darshan of Vivek Sagar Swamiji. आप सबने उनका दर्शन किया ही होगा प्रमुख स्वामी के मूर्ति के साथ. 45 years, not a single day has Pramukh Swami lived without him and he without Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Thank you, Vivek Sagar Swamiji. Thank you very much. Thank you. 45 years staying with somebody, so इनके दर्शन करना यानी कि इनको देख के प्रमुख स्वामी की याद आती है. उसी तरह दूसरों की खुशी में हमारी खुशी है, वो आपको ब्रह्मविहारी स्वामी जी को देख के आपको याद आएगी. Swami who needs no introduction, with a smile you will never be able to gauge that he was initiated many years before half of the audience was born, that is 41 years. So Brahmavihari Swami was initiated by Pramukh Swami Maharaj 41 years ago in 1981. So that's a big this thing. From the Bhuj earthquake to the Ukraine war, to the Akshardham over here, to the water fountain over there, to the Akshardham in Delhi, to the Akshardham being made in America. And then you would have seen him definitely in the greatest event in Indian religious history of the first Hindu Mandir in Abu Dhabi, that is Pujya Brahmavihari Swami. And lastly, not the least, having him here in these grounds amongst ourselves is a privilege, it's an honor. He needs no introduction, but a formal thing. He's from UK. He was invited by Oxford to join him, but he thought, my guru and India wants me here. So Brahmavihari Swami is here with us for past 41 years, and I may request him. A big round of applause for him, Swami. Yeah, thank you very much.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. શ્રી સ્વામિનારાયણ ભગવાનની જય. અક્ષર પુરુષોત્તમ મહારાજની જય. રાધા કૃષ્ણ દેવની જય. સિયાવર રામચંદ્ર ભગવાનની જય. ઉમાપતિ મહાદેવની જય. ગુરુ હરિ પ્રમુખ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. ગુરુ હરિ મહંત સ્વામી મહારાજની જય. પ્રમુખ સ્વામી મહારાજ શતાબ્દી મહોત્સવની જય. In the divine presence of Bhagwan Swami Narayan, in the equally divine presence of my Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who I feel never leaves this earth and never leaves my heart. In the equally divine presence of Guru Hari Mahan Swami Maharaj, in the most revered presence of Pujya Vivek Swami, who was instrumental for me taking Diksha, so somebody I consider very, very important in my life. And also in the most privileged presence of some of the finest minds, some of the greatest thinkers, people who have been born to be successful. So in the presence of all the dignitaries on the stage and all of you who have been so patiently pulling through this entire conference, and I also know that you deeply appreciated the video which has been shown to you. The fact we have seen the video in the comfort of an AC, and the nagar has been created in the heat and furnace of the sun. I request you, when you do go and see what has been created, keep in mind the hours of love that has gone in making something. And I believe you'll be able to see things with the eye of your heart. The topic of my talk today is in the joy of others lies our own. Many of you might just tell me that, Swami, an idea is so wonderful, but living it practically makes it so difficult. Once people like you came to me and said, Swami, look, for the joy of my friend, I gave him my home to live in, and he does just not leave. Ghusi jai na koi. I tried to be helpful, but the entire situation has become hurtful. Why nobody stops at a roadside accident? Because all of us are scared that in trying to be a good Samaritan, you end up in the witness box while the perpetrator has disappeared. પોલીસ તમને પૂછપૂછ કરે કે ભાઈ શું થયું તું? ભાઈ કે હું તો હતો જ નહીં, હું તો જોનાર હતો. In trying to be good, in trying to bring joy to others, it gets more and more difficult. Once after one of my speeches, one Hari Bhakta from America, he wrote a big long letter to me. And in that letter he wrote that, look, for the joy of my brother, I called him over to America, got him a green card, and asked him to join my business. After decades of business, suddenly we've had a difference of opinion, and he got rid of me legally. I am working in my factory as a security guard. My brother, who I called, is the owner. So how can you tell me in the joy of others lies our own? And sometimes we feel. And as I speak to you, you can tick off many, many boxes in your mind. And you might say, "Ke Swami Jo, bhai, this was what happened to me. So I'm extra careful." And what is your job? Your job as accountants is to bring out all the woodworms from the woodwork and tell your clients that if you try to be and live a life for the joy of others, you will have nothing in your accounts. So when I stand before you and when I talk to you about bringing joy to others, you all have a right to ask me that, "Swami, what is the percentage of success in this idea of in the joy of others lies our own?" And rightfully, because you live in a world of numbers. The most pitiful situation of this whole world, and I'm not going to be able to stop it, is we are turning everything into statistics. Everything. Insurance, statistics. You bring out a drug, what is the percentage of it likely to be successful? You talk about anything. We have generated a world of statistics, even medical. One of the most prominent fields in medical science is biostatistics. That if somebody is of such an age and if somebody has so many diseases, if this drug is likely to work on a 6-year-old patient, will it work on a 60-year-old patient, and what are the chances? And suddenly you'll come up with this idea of 2% of chances, and that guy dies before the drug works. So when I was studying back in England, our school teacher always told us that beware of statistics. What do I mean by beware of statistics? That if your head is in the oven and your feet are in the fridge, on average you are in a relatively good position. You're dead. Statistics, they also told us that if you come across a river and if somebody tells you that this river is on average 4 feet deep, do not cross it. Because at the shore it is just 2 inches and in the middle it's about 40 feet and on average it is. I think you understand what I'm trying to tell you. So beware of statistics. It does not reflect the truth of reality. And I think nobody knows this world better than you. You can make any number work. Give yourself a big applause. You can turn profits into losses and you can turn losses into profits. Statistics is such a wonderful thing. But I want to bring you out of this world for a while, just for 15 minutes. Leave statistics behind and come into the real world. If you have a fight with your wife, on an average, perhaps you have 50% of winning, right? Come on, tell me the truth. Okay, 10% of winning. Once a man came to me and he says, "Swami, I have no issues with my wife." And I said, "How can that be?" He said, "We've made a pact that she does what she wants and I do what she wants." That is a solution for 100% success. So people will always ask you that, what is the possibility of, in the joy of others lies our own? I know it is His Holiness Pramukh Swami's sutra. It was his GYAN mantra. But as simple human beings, we would ask that, will it work for me? And can it work for me? So let me first tell you, the biggest problem with happiness and joy is if I ask you, and I'm not going to ask you, If I ask you what really makes you happy and what really makes you sad, do we really know? We want to reach a destination we really don't have. We are so happy with a smile that is as short as a few minutes. While in our own hearts we are searching for a joy that is long as life. What a contradiction. What may make you happy momentarily will not make you happy for life. In the sutra that Pramukh Swami Maharaj gave us, there is a very mystical meaning. And again, I want to make sure that we understand. Because of this world which is heavily intellectually loaded, we always analyze. What appears to be may not. Once one man, he was feeling sad. And the biggest problem with him was he did not know why. ઘણી વાર આપણા મૂડ ઓફ થઈ જાય ને અને કારણ જ ખબર ના હોય. You feel unfriendly, you feel unwanted, you feel neglected. Suddenly you sink into the back time of your own life and think that things have not gone right. So ઘણી વાર we feel like that without a reason. Once one man, he goes to a doctor, a psychiatrist, and he says, I feel sad. I feel depressed. The doctor gives him a few off-the-counter medicines. After a week, that man comes back and he says, no, I feel even more sad. It's very difficult to work with depressed people. You know, either he gets cured or you become depressed. That's the only way things even out. So this man said, no, doc, now I feel suicidal. Initially I was depressed, now I feel suicidal and I don't know what to do. The doctor had no more medicines left. So he says, look, there is this medicine I want to give you which is not from the books, but across the road, there is this beautiful Russian circus. Go and watch that circus 3 times a day because there is this amazing clown whose name is Gromolin. He makes everybody laugh. He just makes them laugh and you can't stop laughing. So bring in joy, bring in laughter into your life and your depression will disappear. So go and watch that clown Gromolin 3 times a day and it will work. This guy said, doc, that's even a bigger issue. He said, what? He said, I am that clown Gromolin. Sometimes in life, we have public successes but private failures. People may respect you in your office as the boss, but do you get the respect of your own children? You may be comfortable in your boardroom, but are you equally comfortable before your own relatives? How many times, quietly and privately, we need to figure out what makes us happy? This is the time when you go around in the Nagar, you will find places that will really jig back, that will really realign your own personal ideas of happiness. Statistics are one thing. If I tell you 100% everybody was uplifted in this Nagar, that doesn't give you the guarantee that you will be. And if I tell you nobody was happy, that does not steal away your opportunity of being happy. 1,000 people must have told me there can never be a traditional temple in the Middle East. For centuries, people told us that it is not possible to even take a murti, forget even pran pratishtha. But the sheer words of Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who said once, in a very gentle way, that there will be a temple in Abu Dhabi where we sadhus would not be able to even cross the border. And today when I know that there is a temple which is 40% complete, it tells us statistics are wrong. We as human beings have the power to defy statistics. That's what I've come to tell you. And when we understand, do not be, because happiness is a very different thing. Recently I was reading a research, again back to statistics. Recently I was reading a research which was questioning that in an Olympics ni andar, somebody gets a gold medal, somebody gets a silver, and somebody gets a bronze. Then who is the happiest amongst the three? Jojo, because you are thinkers, you'll start thinking. Sometimes life is easy. Who is the happiest amongst the three? So they came up with research that the guy who gets the gold medal, his happiness peaks, but it is very short-lived. Because now he's haunted by, will I get it again or not? After 4 years. Beban thai jai ne. I have to keep myself fit. I have to make sure. Every other athlete is his enemy now. Because he sees everybody challenging him. So the guy who gets the gold medal, his happiness is short-lived, then he suffers and suffers and suffers. The guy who gets the silver medal, he's so hurt that, oh, I just missed the gold. Dukhi che. Oh God, I just missed the gold by a microsecond. And they said the happiest is the bronze guy who said, wow, I just made it. Happiness is not about possessions or power or position. Happiness is a very different thing. That's what Pramukh Swami Maharaj has been trying to explain to us. In the happiness of others lies our own happiness. The problem with this world, you will discover something in the Nagar as you go, is in this age of plenty, why are we so empty? In this age of plenty, we've got so much. Perhaps the Stone Age man was more positive with no tools and no gyan and no abilities because he has lived up to our point. And we, with all the facilities, are still contemplating our end. The Stone Age man was so positive. Having nothing, but I'll still survive. And apne? Having everything, ઘણાના મનમાં વિચારો છે કે હારું બારે બહુ ગરમી છે. Go. Face the heat. And you'll find there is a different way of seeing happiness. And this idea of selflessness, most of the time because we are seeking happiness, it evades us. But when you focus on giving happiness, you will find happiness. This was the idea that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam told us that he has learned from the life of Pramukh Swami. Let's turn the equations now. Till now, science, schools, your parents, till now, material world has told us that we become happy by getting. Pramukh Swami has come and taught us that we become happier by giving. When we give, you still might feel, "Ke Swami, does it work?" Now let me tell you. We were in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I have known him before he became the president as the chairman of DRDO and the principal scientific advisor to the Prime Minister of India. The same joyful, bubbling Dr. Kalam. We have seen him and met him almost 18-20 times as the President of India. The same joyful, bubbling APJ Abdul Kalam. And I have met him on the day he was leaving the Rashtrapati Bhavan. I was sad, but he was happy. As I was walking with him in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, હું હાર લઈને ગયો હતો. And I was worried that he's the president right now. Should I garland him or not? Tomorrow he's going to leave. Is this an occasion of happiness or sadness? મૂંઝવણ હતી મને કે હાર પહેરાવો કે નહીં, કાલે નીકળવાના છે. The whole of India wanted him to continue. So I was in a quandary. Okay, should I give him the garland or not? What? Kalam noticed it straight away. He said, Brahmavihari ji? I said, yes, sir. We were in his office. He said, have you seen the Rashtrapati Bhavan? 18 વખત હું ગયો હતો. અમે તો ખાલી ઓફિસમાં જઈએ, કોરિડોરમાં ચાલીને બારે આવી જઈએ. We've never seen the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Do you know what he said on the penultimate day? He said, let me show you the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Let me show you what I'm going to leave tomorrow. He showed me a room. He said, I don't need this. I've never visited this. I never go there. This is what I don't need. This is what I don't need. Ek room. While we were walking, a cat, ek biladi pasar thayam from the corridor. You know what he said? This fellow is more permanent here than all the Rashtrapatis put together. With what joy. And that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he told us when we asked him that, sir, what is the secret of you being so bubbly at this age? You know what he told us? That I've learned the secret from your guru, Pramukh Swami Maharaj, because he never asks, what can I get? Wherever he goes, he only asks, what can I give? If there are children, what can I give to make them happier? Is it a smile? If there are old people, what can I give? A few kind words? If there are people who need help, can I just help? If there are sadhus, what can I give to make their lives better? Pramukh Swami Maharaj, all his life, he has lived by the motto, in giving lies the joy of your life. In making millions of people happy, he has become immortal. And that's why I want to emphasize, very important, and I think this is a message that we should all understand and cherish. That when you and I decide, once again, science has broken, or medical science has broken this idea of joy in 4 parts. You know, when you do exercise, endorphins are released and you feel good, correct? Even exercising makes you feel good, so endorphins are released. When oxytocin is released in your bloodstream is when you shake hands and hug. When you hug somebody or shake hands with so much love, suddenly you get that feeling, a tingling feeling in your body. That is the release of oxytocin. When you stand in the sunshine, or when you have a lovely memory that makes you suddenly, mind bright, yado, serotonin is released in your body. And the 4th, they say, when you accomplish something, a reward, success, when you've done something and you suddenly sit back, dopamine is released. It's a chemical or a hormone of what? Reward. But then comes the Gita. The Gita tells us, Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Can you do something even without the want of a reward? That joy is immortal. Lord Krishna said that, and Pramukh Swami Maharaj lived that all his life, doing something selflessly without the want of reward. He has gone to the houses of almost 250,000 people. અને કઈ મોટા માણસ હતા એવું નથી. You will find in the Nagar that at about 3 o'clock in the morning, Pramukh Swami went to a village in Maharashtra, to a devotee's house, to his shop, and that shop was of slippers, boot champalni samanya dukan in a village. At 3 o'clock in the morning, when the whole village was asleep, Pramukh Swami went because that man had said, "Ke Swami, mari dukane avso." How many times have you rejected the little request of your own children? Do you want joy? Respond to people with love. Pramukh Swami Maharaj has read and written and replied 750, you want statistics, right? 750,000 letters. Borrowed messages, nahi, aapne to we are experts in forwarding messages. Everybody knows this is not yours. Handwritten, 7.5 lakh. Like we are, I'm telling you, I stand before you, we are his shishyas, but we feel too small. 750,000 and letters keva khabar che? Every letter was not standard written. You know, the presidents and prime ministers, they have other people writing the letters, not Pramukh Swami. હું એક દ્રષ્ટાંત આપું છું. Every letter had a heartbeat. I remember in Delhi, suddenly Swami Shri at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon called me. કલકત્તાના આપણા હરિભક્ત હતા દાણી કરીને. એના દીકરા આનંદે એક પત્ર લખ્યો. He was 11, 12-year-old boy. And because he was from Calcutta, he had written it in English. Pramukh Swami called me, said, read this, translate it, and then write an answer right now as I tell you. મેં કહ્યું સ્વામી ઉતાવળ શેની છે? સ્વામી કે ભાઈ હમણાં એના ફાધર નીકળે છે. લુક, જતા માણસને હાથમાં પત્ર આપો ને, એ પ્રમુખ સ્વામી હતા. મેલ બોક્સમાં જઈને મેલ કરવો એ પ્રમુખ સ્વામી નહોતા. How particular he was. So suddenly at 1 o'clock, એમને જમ્યા નથી, and he says, તું કાગળ લખ. એટલે 4 લીટીનો કાગળ. કાગળમાં કંઈ એવું દમ નહોતો. આમ સો સોરી ટુ ટેલ યુ કે બાપા મને પરીક્ષામાં બધું આવડતું નથી અને મને આશીર્વાદ આપો કે હું સારો હોશિયાર થઉં અને પરીક્ષામાં હું પાસ થઉં. Standard, everybody has the same issue. So I wrote 4 lines કે પ્રમુખ સ્વામી has prayed and he has blessed you, આમ તેમ. અને મેં લખ્યું હતું, ડિયર આનંદ. પછી મેં કીધું બાપા પાછા સમજાવે કે શું લખ્યું બોલ. It's not that you write and let it go. Nope. Very hands-on guru. મેં કહ્યું સ્વામી કે આમાં પ્રશ્ન થશે. આ ક્યાં આવ્યું કે 2 દેશોની વચ્ચે યુદ્ધ થવાનું છે? આમાં શું પ્રશ્ન થવાનો છે? પેલાના આશીર્વાદ જોઈતા, we've given આશીર્વાદ. So then Pramukh Swami said, સ્વામી કે એનો બીજો ભાઈ છે, જેનું નામ છે અમર. તો મેં કહ્યું તો સ્વામી કે આને કાગળ લખશું ને તો પેલો આખા ગામમાં કાગળ ફેરવશે કે પ્રમુખ સ્વામી મને કાગળ લખ્યો, તો પેલાને દુઃખ થશે એના ભાઈને. તો મેં કહ્યું સ્વામી તો એવું કરીએ કે આપણે બેવના નામ લખી કાઢીએ, ડિયર આનંદ એન્ડ ડિયર અમર. I have a western mind, so find the easiest solution. સ્વામી કીધો પછી આને દુઃખ થશે કે મેં કાગળ લખ્યો તો એને કેમ આવ્યું નામ ભેગું. મેં કહ્યું હવે તો મને દુઃખ થાય છે. So I said કે બાપા આનું સોલ્યુશન શું? સ્વામી કે બેવને કાગળ લખો. પણ પહેલા તો આશીર્વાદ જ ક્યાં માંગે છે પરીક્ષામાં પાસ થવાના? સ્વામી કે એને આને એવો લખો કે તું પરીક્ષામાં પાસ થા, ને પહેલાને એવો કહો કે પ્રમુખ સ્વામી તને યાદ કરતા હતા, તને સામેથી આશીર્વાદ આપ્યા છે. He made me write 2 letters. He wrote letters with a heartbeat. 2 છોકરાને કોઈને દુઃખ ન થાય. For the joy of others, he has written 750,000 letters. Why do you think our Prime Minister Modi Sahib, he's so touched? In the times of their difficult challenges, the shoulder of Pramukh Swami and the heartbeat of Pramukh Swami has been with everyone, not just the Prime Minister and the President. Every person. Why do you think the biggest miracle of 80,000 volunteers? એમાં ઘણા બધા chartered accountants છે who sleep on the floor, bathe in cold water, work in the heat. You know why? Because they have come to say a big thank you for someone who made a hell of a difference in their lives. Spirituality is not about scripture. Spirituality is not about mandir. Spirituality is not about worships and rituals. Spirituality is about providing an experience that makes you immortal. In the joy of others lies our own. Try getting into a train, and if you are the first one to smile in the compartment, you will spread joy and you will feel more comfortable. પણ પગ પોડા કરીને બેસશો ને બે બેગો મૂકશો, લોકોને લાગશે આ સંકુચિત મનવાળો છે. આપણી ક્યાં ટ્રેન છે? હા, બધા એકબીજાને પૂછે કે તમારી ટિકિટ? ભાઈ શાંતિ રાખ. Remember, on this earth we are all in a queue. Whatever your age, wherever you are, we are in a queue. When we fly off, none of us know. We are in a queue. એટલું યાદ રાખવું પડે. And the most important fact, which I would like to conclude with, that if you turn the idea that if you are always searching for your joy, it will become selfish. When you become selfless like His Holiness Pramukh Swami and provide joy, nobody will be able to touch your joy. A few days ago, Keshav Verma, the former commissioner of Ahmedabad, and who was in the World Bank, and now currently our Prime Minister has placed him as the chairman of urban development, how to develop Indian cities by 2050. He came here. And he was amazed by the fact that the place is so clean. Atyare tame jojo, almost 1 lakh people must have walked past. You will not find a single litter. Do you know why? When you make the place so beautiful, nobody would want to even throw litter. Do not litter the place. અમે કોઈ જગ્યાએ બોર્ડ નથી માર્યું કે ગંદકી નહીં કરતા. And I have learned that from a British taxi man. He had the finest taxi which nobody spoiled, and he came forward and told the world that I made my taxi interior so beautiful કે કોઈને કચરો નાખવાનું મન ના થાય. If you make your mind so beautiful, if you make your heart so beautiful, કે કોઈ પણ તમારે ત્યાં કોઈ કચરા જેવો વિચાર નાખવાની હિંમત નહીં કરે. If you spread joy, you will become the owner of joy. And perhaps this simple example will summarize what I've said. Once there was a conference going on. Like all of you, in the foyer, everybody was given a balloon, a red balloon with a golden string. Everybody was asked to put their name on top of that balloon. બધાએ પોતપોતાના નામ લખી કાઢ્યા. When they came into this hall, they said, now release your balloons. So 1,000 of you released their balloons. The string was reachable. The golden is all red from beneath and all gold from underneath. And then somebody asked, now find your own balloon. So everybody started jumping, looking, and they said, this is not my name. So they released it. પછી બીજી જગ્યાએ જતું રહે ને, once you stop and release, it goes somewhere else. So everybody, in 5 minutes, there was chaos. અને એકદમ ધમાલ થઈ ગઈ. Everybody is trying to find their balloon. મળે જ નહીં. Now it's getting more and more complicated. Then suddenly one wise man made an announcement. Everybody stop. Raise your hand wherever you find a string. Pull that balloon down. Read the name. And give that balloon to the person who owns that balloon. When you go and give somebody else's happiness to somebody else, somebody is in queue waiting to give your happiness to you. In the joy of others lies our own. Thank you very much.
Louder, please, louder. Sir, I would like to say that no other profession other than chartered accountant can relate to the quote of Pramukh Swami Maharaj Ji, which says, in the joy of others lies your own, in the progress of others rests your own. Because we are the fraternity who not only prays and wishes, but also strives very hard for the progress of our clients so that their progress can turn into our progress. So thank you so much for your wonderful.
Just want to add that the word helpfulness, and that is what we all want. I also request and urge you all that if we can contribute to Chartered Accountant Benevolent Fund today itself, then we can definitely give smile to the family members of our fraternity members who lost their life. And that is what we request Gujarat Chartered Accountants from all the chairmen present here to the members to please contribute today itself to the Chartered Accountant Benevolent Fund. Thank you very much. I request now,
Before we invite Chetan Jagatia for the vote of thanks, I'll request Chairman Sir and the entire team to please felicitate Swamiji with a small token of love and appreciation on behalf of Ahmedabad branch and behalf of all the members present here. So please accept this on behalf of all the members, from all the members here and on behalf of all the members. Thank you.
Hello. I'm sure this occasion requires a standing ovation. Pujya Gnanvatsal Swami, Pujya Brahmavihari Swami, and Pujya Vivek Sagar Swami over here on stage. Thank you, presidents and all chartered accountants over here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brahmavihari Swamiji, for your kind words.
Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I, CA Chetan Jagatia, feel honored and privileged to propose a vote of thanks. I would like to thank all the honorable Swamijis who have blessed us with their presence. From the time you stepped up to the dais, from the start of the prayer, I am sure everyone felt an aura within themselves. On behalf of my managing committee of ICAI, I convey my deep regards and hearty vote of thanks to Pujya Brahmavihari Swamiji for his kind words and important life lessons. I feel honored and I thank all the organizing committee of BAPS for making this event a successful one. Last but not the least, dear Pujya Swamijis, if time is money, then you have spent millions on us in forms of blessings, received by thousands of chartered accountants sitting here. Thank you all. Jai Swami Narayan.
And now, whom you see in the screen and see on the stage needs no introduction. A big of round of applause for the speaker of the day, Pujya Gnanvatsal Swami. How do we introduce a person whom there's so many people over here in the room who said कि रात को सोने से पहले ज्ञानवत्सल स्वामी का सुन के सोते हैं. ऐसे कितने लोग हैं यहाँ पर? स्वामी जी, they are the last visual before they sleep is you. And formally, a small introduction. Engineer from Villa Vidyanagar, Villa Vishwakarma Vidyalaya. Initiated by Pramukh Swami Maharaj in 1992. He's a life coach, he's an eminent speaker. But over and above all, he's a friend of all chartered accountants. That's what I can tell you. And from the World Congress to this room over here, a big welcome to the CA fraternity. Yesterday, GCCI came here. They make money, but उन्होंने कितना पैसा बनाया वो आप बताते हैं तो आपके लिए भी बहुत a round of applause from our side, because GCCI told us कि कल हम इनको भेजेंगे जो हमको बताएंगे कि हमने क्या किया है. So from making money to counting money and then counting our blessings by having Pujya Gnanvatsal Swami over here, may I request Swami ji to take over and address the audience. Thank you. Big round of applause for Swami ji, please.
I know all of us are eager to listen to the Swamiji, but before we hand over mic to Swamiji, I'll request Team Ahmedabad to please welcome Swamiji with a small token of love and appreciation on behalf of Ahmedabad branch. That is bouquet, diary, and a memento. Not taking much of the time, I'll straight away request Swamiji to please address the August gathering with his kind words. Swamiji.
गुणातीतो अक्षरं ब्रह्म भगवान् पुरुषोत्तमः जनो जानन्निदं सत्यं मुच्यते भवबन्धनात्. With prostrations at the divine feet of Bhagwan Swami Narayan, my Guru Hari, Param Pujya Pramukh Swami Maharaj, whose centenary celebrations we are celebrating this year. And on that auspicious occasion, we are all fortunate to have this conference of the WIRC of ICAI. And my Pragat Guru Hari, Param Pujya Mahant Swami Maharaj, my heartiest namaskarams, especially to Debashish Mitra, who on a very special invitation came here in the morning, the president of the ICAI, Vice President Aniket Talati. We are good friends. And another good friend, Girish Ahuja, very dear friend of mine. He too has very gracefully been here in the midst of us.
And why should I forget C.A. Bishan Shah, Purushottam Khandelwal, Neeraj Agrawal, and all the distinguished guests on the dais and in the conference today. My heartiest namaskars, good afternoon, Jai Shri Ram and Jai Swami Narayan. When I talk to the chartered accountants, I specially mention this because if I just get my identity cards of the chartered accountants conferences that I have attended so far, that I've spoke to so far in the conferences, the number could be like more than 25. I've been to WIRC, to SIRC, to EIRC, and Girishji was talking to me in the morning that I will now carry you to NIRC. But when I talk to them, I specially tell that CA is not just a chartered accountant. CA also means a careful analyst. So when you are careful analysts, the principal thing that we need to take care is alertness and agility. Here in the Pramukh Swami Maharaj Nagar, after this session, I'm going to speak like just for 10 to 15 minutes. Then we will proceed for lunch. After the lunch, we have 110 young, smart, energetic, all three languages speaking boys and girls who will be your guides in a group of 10 each. We'll take you to the 200-acre wonderland where you have thoughts, emotions, attitudes, learning process. So this is a land of inspiration that we are sitting, wherein we have put in the Glow Gardens a spot where all the deers are very alert and agile, and we teach the value of alert and agileness. A chartered accountant needs to be alert and agile. Without the chartered accountant being alert and agile, India cannot become a $5 trillion economy by 2025 as the Honorable Prime Minister wants. The backbone and the spine of the $5 trillion economy. And yesterday we had Shri Deepak Parekh ji, the chairman of HDFC, speaking to an august audience of GCCI, and he proclaimed that by 2030, India will be a $7.5 trillion economy. And you, chartered accountants, are the backbone, the spine of that economy. So you need to be extra alert, extra agile, and that is a careful analyst. Because we live in this 21st century. And the times of this 21st century has been rightly described that these are the times of fancier houses but broken homes. These are the times of double incomes but more divorces. These are the times of high-rise buildings but low-rise characters. These are the times where man has gone all the way to the moon and has come back, but he finds it difficult to cross the road and meet the new neighbor. These are the times of broader highways but narrower viewpoints. These are the times of sometimes good profits in businesses but shallow relationships. These are the times where we have much to show in the show window and nothing in the stockroom. दिखाने के लिए हमारे पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, लेकिन बुद्धि में पवित्र विचार, मन में शुद्ध भावनाएं, वो कम होती जा रही है. इसलिए ethics in profession is the most valued aspect of life. How many of you do agree with me when I put forward this statement? Raise your hands. All of you. Ethics in profession is the greatest value that you stand by, and is the greatest value which makes you stand in the midst of any crowd. Your talents, your academics, your experiences, your know-hows, your platforms, your back support systems can open any gate for you, but only your ethics in profession will keep that gate open for you lifetime. It can get closed anytime. Am I right or wrong? Those who tried to shape, deshape, overshine or undershine the cricket ball had to leave cricket. Those who tried to deshape, undershine, overshine the cricket ball had to leave cricket. Welcoming life ban. Those who tried to play with the banks had to leave the country. Some are in London, some are in the Caribbean islands. They all will be brought back. And already an order has been issued by the London court for one guy. Tihar is waiting with wide arms open. इसलिए हमारे गुरु प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज जिनकी जन्म शताब्दी महोत्सव मना रहे हैं, वे अक्सर कहा करते थे कि जीवन में नीतिमत्ता और प्रामाणिकता जरूर चाहिए। व्यक्तिगत जीवन में चाहिए, पारिवारिक जीवन में चाहिए, व्यावसायिक जीवन में चाहिए। आप जहां भी हो, जो कुछ भी आप करते हो, wherever you are, whatever you are, ethics, norms and disciplines, they play a foundational role. They play the most primary role, and they are the only ones who could make you reach the zenith of your profession. I've read more than 400 biographies and autobiographies in my life. From Pramukh Swami Maharaj to Nelson Mandela to Mahatma Gandhi to Sachin Tendulkar to George Washington to Abraham Lincoln, the one common factor that we find in the lives of such great personalities, in whichever profession they were, whatever work they were doing, in the midst of any people or crowd, the one primary factor that they held on was ethics in their walk, talk and behavior. Rest all is a substitute. Rest all follows it. How many of you agree with me? We all. Let me share you an example. In 1990, a football match was supposed to be played. It was a charity match, a fundraiser. For two reasons. For those all poor footballers to pay for their life. And the second cause of that match was an awareness against drugs and corruption, which had crept in football for quite a time. Two teams. One team was led by the great Diego Maradona, who won the World Cup in 1986 for Argentina. They had worn the t-shirt, "Say no to drugs," all the players. And the other team was led by Michel Platini of France. They had worn the t-shirt, "Say no to corruption," all the players. Between the two greats, Michel Platini and Diego Maradona, was King Pelé, the greatest ever, as a referee. The match was played in a packed stadium, funds raised, well distributed. A few years down the line, Diego Maradona was banned from football for 6 months because he was caught using, that is consuming, and in possession of drugs. 20 years later, in 2015, Michel Platini was out from the European Soccer Association and a lifetime ban on holding any position in the game of soccer because of corruption charges of more than €2 million against him. What they once stood for, they could not sustain it lifetime. Ethics you stand for and you sustain it lifetime. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was once asked, which thought remains with you 24/7? Pramukh Swami Maharaj said, the thought that has never entered my mind, shall I tell it first? And that was more interesting. Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who carried this BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha to a permanent seat in the United Nations from a very small organization in the 1960s and 70s. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was a one-man institute, one-man organization, a one-man army. Why I tell you this? Now listen carefully, because you people are people of statistics and numbers. The next 5 sentences that I speak is statistics and number which are mind-boggling, which is beyond the ken of human intelligence, which are unbelievable. But when a man works with ethics, to what level he can go, to what level he can give to the society. All the statistics that I will speak now is of the life of Pramukh Swami Maharaj after the age of 51. In 1971, when he assumed the guruship of this organization, thereafter, he traveled to 18,000 villages, towns and cities in 60 countries for the upliftment of humanity in all walks of life. Second, people used to write him letters for their personal issues, family issues. Such 7,50,000 letters read and answered. In a span of 45 years from 1971 to 2016, that is, reading and answering 70 letters a day without a Sunday for 45 years. Imagine after this weekend, the coming Monday you go to your office and you open your office mailbox and you need to read 15 and answer 15 mails a day. I was talking to Girishji and I was taking around that if you have to read and answer 15 mails before lunchtime, what happens to you to your first half? Pramukh Swami Maharaj read and answered 70 and all was responsible answering. He personally met more than 8,10,000 people, hearing their views and answering them. And now comes what all of you will feel that it is out of this world. In a span of 45 years, after the age of 51, Pramukh Swami Maharaj created 1,300 hospitals, hostels, schools, colleges, sanskar kendras, community centers, hari mandirs, mandirs and akshardham. That means every 15th day of his life, he created an institution of social service for the betterment of society. If you have to open your new office in a new city, it takes 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. From acquiring a land to legally clearing it, to what to do with that land, hospital, hostel, school, college, tenders dished out, plans passed, plans designed and passed. We are a non-profit organization, so the funds raised, the inauguration ceremony completed, and that institution put in the service of society. The entire story from land acquisition to completion of an institute of social service every 15th day. So the Guinness Book of World Records has put that Pramukh Swami Maharaj is the master builder of the 20th century. Now, why did I tell you this? Why did I tell you this? I started with the incident. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was asked, which thought remains with you 24/7? And he said, which thought doesn't come to my mind ever? Then I told you the statistics. After working so much, with so many people, in so many projects, the world over, Pramukh Swami from the deepest part of his heart expresses, I have never ever got the thought of hurting anybody physically, mentally or emotionally in my life. This is the biggest ethic of life. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज ने कहा किसी का भी अहित हो ऐसा विचार मुझे जीवन में कभी नहीं आया. If you envy your competitor, you are a mean and a cheap person. If you pray that your competitor goes strong so that I also go strong, you are a bright person. Now the choice is yours to become meek and cheap or a bright person, and that choice depends upon the ethics that you think in your life. Make a good choice so you stand a good chance for a great change in your life. Ethics in profession is a great positive change. Otherwise, people will not join you. People will join and go, join and go. All of you are sitting here who are employers must have seen coming in and going out of your staff, isn't it? Yes or no? We are 1,200 saints initiated by Pramukh Swami Maharaj. 750 of them, more than that, are graduates, postgraduates, chartered accountants, doctors and engineers. More than about 100 saints are born US and UK citizens. Many of our saints have studied in Harvard, Stanford, Carnegie Mellon, Yale and Keeling. Our saints have worked in NASA, in Microsoft, in Google, and they've come here. So they come with a sense of understanding. But imagine Pramukh Swami Maharaj and today Mahant Swami Maharaj could infuse the thought process of a living life, a thought process of an ethical service to life in the hearts of millions. Can you put your thought process in your near and dear ones and in your staff members? The medium, the bridge is ethics in your life. The purity of Pramukh Swami Maharaj's personal life, the purity of Mahant Swami Maharaj's personal life is 40,000 volunteers today in person that you will see in the Nagar when our PR volunteers will give you guided tours. एक अच्छी बात आपको सुनाऊं? There are 40,000 volunteers here in person. You pick up any volunteer. मैं आपको एक अच्छी बात यह कहना चाहता हूं कि 40,000 स्वयंसेवक के किसी भी स्वयंसेवक के साथ आप वार्तालाप चालू कर देना. And ask him, why are you here? Since 1 month, since 2 months, since 3 months, leaving aside your job and businesses. We have volunteers from the Syntax family, we have volunteers from the Ajmera family, we have volunteers from the diamonders of Surat, we have volunteers from the Vimal dairy owners. They are all doing all types of services here. Why are you here? Out of 40,000 volunteers, 5,000 will say that when I was a baby, my father carried me to Pramukh Swami Maharaj. I was in his lap and he has named me. 5,000 volunteers will say that when I was in my first day of my school, my father carried me to Pramukh Swami Maharaj and he blessed me. Other 5,000 volunteers will say that when I had a question of picking up my academic course, it was Pramukh Swami who gave the decision. Another 5,000 volunteers will tell you that my marriage was finalized by Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Another 5,000 volunteers will tell you that there was then a dispute in my marital life or family life. Pramukh Swami Maharaj intervened at midnight and today we are a happy family. Another 5,000 volunteers will tell you that my father, when he was hospitalized, when my mother got cancer, when I called Pramukh Swami Maharaj at 11 p.m., Pramukh Swami Maharaj was there to answer me. So the second ethic of life is don't give importance. Listen carefully. Second ethic of life is don't give importance to work, to your achievements. Comparatively give more importance to people around you. 90% of your success depends upon your people management, your relationships with people. You will see in the timeline that Pramukh Swami Maharaj worked in every hour of the night. You will see a picture, the original picture, where somebody told Pramukh Swami Maharaj that my guru, or somebody who has seen my future, that is a Jyotish, he has told me, that is my astrologer, that if you inaugurate your shop at 3 a.m. in the morning, it will run good. So Swamiji, can you come to inaugurate my shop? Pramukh Swami Maharaj was 53. And Pramukh Swami Maharaj inaugurated his shop at 3 a.m. in the morning. You will see that picture there. Give importance to people because it is the best and the greatest creation of God upon this earth. Second ethic of life is this. The third important aspect, I am finishing in the last 5 minutes. The third important aspect of ethics in life is, tell yourself every day in the morning, I cannot do anything wrong in my life. I want all of you to repeat it with me as I go. I cannot do anything wrong in my life. Again, the whole sentence together. Make it a principal statement of your life. And then you walk on the path of ethics. Ethics in profession is the most important aspect. With ethics, you can become hero from zero. Without ethics, you become zero from hero within seconds. This is the power of ethics. I simplify it with a simple example. If somebody has become an electric engineer, he has been in service for 35 years, gradual promotions, he becomes the chief engineer and the chairman of the Gujarat Electricity Board. after 35 years of service with GAB, on a fine Sunday morning when he's with the newspaper and a cup of coffee, can he put it up his shoulders in front of an electric plug and say, this is the chairman's finger, okay? I'm putting it inside, take care of it. Has the chairman of the GB power to put his finger inside the plug? Yes or no? Why? Electricity doesn't know your post, position and power. In the same way, ethics doesn't know your post, position and power. Second aspect of strengthening ethics. Second aspect of strengthening ethics is a God-loving life. प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज अक्सर ये बात करते थे. A God-loving life. As you tell your clients that you are accountable. You tell your clients, isn't it? Yes or no? That you are accountable. We are also accountable. Up there. And the principle of karma is eternal. You have to pay back in your own coins with compound interest. झूठ से कभी कोई आगे बढ़ा नहीं है. अगर बढ़ गया तो लंबा चलता नहीं है. वहां लंबा रह नहीं सकता. He has to fall. Even if you are the king of the skies, you have to leave India without Indian passport. Even if you have become Sahara of thousands of families, giving them thousands of homes, you can still lie Be-Sahara in Tihar for 4 years. As simple as that. Can you play with fire? Can you play with water? Can you play with electricity? You can't play with ethics. So nobody can put their collar up that I am above law. You advise your clients to pay GST, isn't it? हंसने क्यों लगे आप? Then I must change and add one word to my question. Do you really advise your clients to pay GST? दो GST है पता है? GST दो है. एक GST जो भारत सरकार ने, मैं गिरीश जी यहां बैठे, कमिटी मेंबर. GST goods and services tax. Am I right? Another GST is from the spiritual point of view. If you pay the GST, goods and services tax, another GST comes into play. God saves tension. GST. वरना रात को नींद उड़ जाएगी. और GST भर्या નથી અને ઇન્ક્વાયરી આવશે, ઓડિટ આવશે તો પ્રશ્ન થશે. So love ethics. As we love our own self, we must love ethics. And lastly, we all want to live with pride, isn't it? Yes or no? Less of money will do, less of pride will not do. Yes or no? A one-bedroom less house will do, less pride will not do. Yes or no? Instead of a Merc, a Hyundai will do, but less on pride will not do. Am I right or wrong? Common routine wear will do instead of a branded wear, but less on pride will not do. Am I right or wrong? A couple of less positions in the institute or the association, a couple of less stages will do, but less pride will not do. Am I right or wrong? And when you want to live with pride, the only way to live with pride is that you lived your life with ethics, norms, and disciplines, so that you can hold your head high in the midst of any crowd that, yes, I have not done any unethical work in my life. If you can say that, that is the biggest success of your life. Money doesn't matter, status doesn't matter. Nothing matters when it comes to pride of ethics. So with that pride, if you decide to live, you love ethics. And that is the biggest asset of your life. That is the biggest possession of your life. And that asset and that possession is the biggest pride of your life. Pramukh Swami Maharaj used to say, when you live a God-loving life, you tell yourself, remind yourself, you constantly are in a state of introspection that I cannot do anything which God doesn't like. And whatever I do, I'm accountable for. I have to answer somewhere. When that feeling goes inside, you will live an ethical life. So spirituality is the backbone of living an ethical life. This is spirituality, that I don't want to do anything which displeases God. That is the power behind your ethical life. So, ethics in profession, I lastly would say one sentence. Everybody of you must marry twice. Stunned, see? Everybody is stunned when I put forward this statement. Everybody of you must marry twice. आपको शादी 2 बार करनी चाहिए. Once you have married, or you will marry, or you are already married to your spouse. Second marriage is you marry with ethics. Is your lifetime spouse. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. All my prayers for you. And may my Guru Mahant Swami Maharaj bless you all. And thank you very much for accepting our invitation to have your WIRC, that is CA conference here at the Pramukh Swami Maharaj Nagar. Today we will give you a wonderful day. Our 110 volunteers are waiting for you after the lunch for groups to go and visit this cultural wonderland. Thank you very much, and all prayers for all of you.
Swamiji, we will surely remember that I cannot do anything wrong in my life. On behalf of Ahmedabad branch and other associated branches, we are thankful and grateful to the Swamiji for his knowledge sharing with us. Ethics is not important in our profession only, but in life also. We are grateful to Swamiji for showering blessings and love on us. We are thankful to all members for patience hearing and organizing committee of BAPS for wonderful hospitality. Swamiji, aapne khub khub pranam. And let's join for lunch now. Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, just 2 minutes, one or two important announcements, and before that,
I request members to please stay for a couple of more minutes. There are some important announcements to be made. We have spent so much of time, we can spend a couple of more minutes, please. I request all the members to please stay back for a couple of more minutes.
yeah, we have Pujya Vivek Sagar Swami for the final blessings from.
Only to summarize this conference, one word: be good and do good.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. Thank you, the executive committee of the chartered accountants. Thank you, everybody over here, for spending your valuable time. I see the net worth of Gujarat over here. You handle more money than people make. So, being a round of applause to yourselves. Now, for the a few important announcements. The exit to the meals are from both the gates. May I request you to open the gates over there? These 2 rows will go for meals from there. If you open the gates over here, these 2 rows will go for meals behind. The lunches is served in S for Singapore and C for Calcutta. These 2 domes are there. The meals are ready for you. After that, there will be a guided tour of the entire Nagar. Groups of 10 to 15 will be escorted by trained volunteers. એટલે તમે બધાએ નગર જોશો, તમને guided tour મળવાની છે જમ્યા પછી. So once you have your meals, you will be directed to volunteers. People who have parked their cars in